Indonesia's long-drawn election process looks set to conclude tomorrow once the Constitutional Court in Jakarta delivers its verdict on the presidential election dispute. Presidential candidate Prabowo Subianto and his running mate Sandiaga Uno, who lost the April 17th election to Joko Widodo and Amin, had filed a lawsuit claiming the poll was rigged. The ruling by the court is final and binding, and both teams have said that they will accept the verdict. Saiful Ismail has more.
This long-drawn-out election battle looks set to come to an end almost a year from the time nominations for candidates began. In May, after more than 7 months of campaigning followed by nationwide polls, the Elections Commission gave the victory to Joko Widodo and his running mate Amin. But Mr. Probowo refused to concede defeat, alleging that the election had seen a massive, structured and systematic fraud. His supporters, angered by the official vote count, took to the streets to protest. This quickly fled into riots and violence that left 9 people dead and hundreds others injured. Now, with the judge's verdict looming, concerns are high that violence could once again break out. Police have told the public not to gather in front of the Constitutional Court when the judges deliver their verdict. But they're not taking any chances. Security will be tight with some 13,000 police officers deployed in front of the court and the immediate surrounding area to prevent the violence. Mr. Prabowo's legal team says Mr. Widodo abused his power and misused state resources to help himself to a win. It urged the court for a rerun of the election, claiming the Elections Commission had inflated Mr. Widodo's vote tally allegedly from an incorrect final voters list.
Ada 4 klasifikasi problem. Pertama ada nik rekayasa, kedua ada kecamatan siluman, ketiga ada pemilih ganda di seantero Indonesia, terus keempat ada problem apa? Ada pemilih-pemilih di bawah umur.
Lawyers for the Elections Commission as well as Mr. Widodo's legal team have rebutted all fraud allegations. Throughout the hearing, they stressed the plaintiff had been unable to provide concrete evidence for any of the charges.
Dalam eksepsi kami memohon kepada Mahkamah Konstitusi untuk menerima eksepsi pihak terkait seluruhnya dan menyatakan Mahkamah Konstitusi tidak berwenang untuk memeriksa, mengadili dan memutus perkara yang dimohonkan atau setidak-tidaknya menyatakan bahwa permohonan tidak dapat diterima.
This is the second time Mr. Probowo is challenging an election outcome in court. In 2014, he lost to Mr. Widodo by a slim margin of 6.3 percentage points, and he failed to convince the court to overturn the results. Observers say going the legal way to dispute an election result sets a good precedent for Indonesian politics.
It's the lessons for the next political elites, the next participants of the elections. You have to be ready for losing, you have to be ready for winning, but very important also, you have to use the legal channels that are provided. That way we can maintain our democracy for a long time.
Indonesians hope for reconciliation and unity after a divisive election that has polarized the nation. If the Constitutional Court upholds the Elections Commission's official results, it will pave the way for Mr. Widodo to forge ahead with plans for his second term. But if the court rules in Mr. Prabowo's favor, it could mean a possible repeat of the polls for an election-weary Indonesia. Saiful Ismail, CNA, Jakarta.